Hi, I'm Lars. Welcome back to the shop. Today we're going to take a Color JPG, convert it into monochrome, and we're going to produce this. Now, it's for the machinists out there if you guys like it. So if you're up for this and you want to see how this is done, let's get to it. So I went through all kinds of websites. I went to Resize, Pixel, Adobe Express, online. Paint said they could do it. There's a bunch of them that said they could do what I'm about to do for you. And the only thing I could find was Snagit. And I actually have a license for Snagit. It's not that expensive of a tool. And actually, we do use this quite a bit. So I went down here to Effects on the right-hand side. And there's something called a filter. And monochrome. Now, you can adjust this wherever you want. You can go this way or whatever. I found 30 worked out pretty good. So I'm just going to pop this back to 30. Then I hit apply. Now there was some jaggedness to this. So the first thing I did is I just saved this off. So I'm just going to throw in here as a save as, and Wiener and Fingers is a JPEG. So we're going to save it there. And then what I did is I went to convert IOCO. And once you get here, all you need to do is drag in your video, or not your video. You need to drag in your image. It's the JPEG. And then pick what you want. We're trying to get to a vector, so I went to an SVG, and then I did a convert. So converting this takes probably about 15-20 seconds. So I am pausing the video to go through. And then we're going to drop this down in here as an SVG. So now when I open this up, it's going to open up an edge. And you see how much cleaner this is as an SVG? So I'm going to do a screen snap of this. And grab that like that. I'm going to go over here to Snagit Editor. I'm going to go to File, New. And just drop a new one of these guys in here like that. And then I'm going to crop it. Crop. Make this as big as I want. I'm going to put a little border around it, or I think Susan will put a border around it. Like that. We're going to hit crop. Now if I pop back and forth between these two, you'll see that the JPEG, the PNG, look pretty similar. Okay. Now, if you look at the SVG screenshot, it's a lot cleaner, right? So that's the reason we went with the SVG. Now I needed to take this. I need to save this off as a PNG, and we will get the same quality in this as we did. So here's the SVG. Here's the PNG. They're identical, just different file names. All right. So let's go get this thing into XCS. Now I'm going to pass you over to Susan so she can show you some stuff in XCS and how to get this thing set up on the laser. But if you're liking the video, please click like, and as always, please subscribe to this channel. Thank you.
So next we're going to take the PNG file that Lawrence created, and we're going to upload it into xTool's Creative Space. We're going to click on the image icon in your left-hand column, double click on the PNG file that I want to open. Tell it yes, scale to fit on canvas. Still a little bit large, so I'm going to click on the top corner and drag it down to resize it a bit. Bring it into the center. Now this has got, you can tell this was in a rectangular or square frame. So I'm going to put that back on it to make this image that's cut off here and cut off here look a little bit better. So I'm going to come over here, click on this, click on rectangle. I'm going to create a rectangle that's going around it. I'm going to drag it right up against that right-hand edge. I am going to unlock the aspect ratio so I can drag this side up without affecting the other. And then I'm going to drag this one over a little bit, and that will give it a frame. I'm going to take this frame and I'm going to move it to the red layer, because for me, I always set everything red that I want to score. Black is engrave and blue is cut. So now we're going to go to the blue, which is now telling me this is my picture. And I'm going to take that one and move it to the black layer. And that will be, it will engrave everything in black. It will score the red outline. And now I want to have a cut line because I want a cut line that's just a little bit bigger than this score line. So I'm going to create another rectangle and I'm going to make it just a little bit bigger than my square. I think that looks pretty good. And then I am going to set this line to blue because that is going to be my cut line. And that will be the exterior of the wood that I cut out. So now let's set our parameters. I'm going to be using a piece of walnut plywood that I've gotten from a big box store locally that I work with quite a bit. So I already have some parameters set for it. Normally I would do a material test array if I have something new, but since this one is not, I will just use the settings that I have. So I'm going to start with the blue layer. This is going to be a cut. So I'm going to come over here, set it to cut. This piece of material is a piece of plywood. It requires 100% power. And then I'm going to put the speed at 5. And that is good for that. Now for the engrave, I am going to set a power of 30. I'm going to set the speed to 200 and lines per centimeter to 200. And that's going to be good for the engrave. So let's go to the red layer, click on the red dot in the bottom. It's already set to score. We just need to set the parameters. I'm going to do power of 40. I'm going to do a speed of 100 and 1 pass. So we should be good. So we have all our parameters set for cut, score, and engrave. And typically what it will do is it will engrave everything first, then it will score, and then it will cut out the piece. So first thing we want to do on the S1 is to set the distance on it. So I'm going to click on the auto measure tool here. Oops, it's saying I haven't connected my device. So let's come over here and make sure our device is connected. There we go. Now we've got the S1 connected to XCS. So come back up here to auto measure. As you can see, it's dropping the pin down and going over to the right and giving me a measurement of 0.512 as the distance between the laser and the wood. Now, I am going to select all of this. I want to make it just a little bit smaller because I'm going to do a test engrave on this, just to test out my new image. I'm going to move my laser back to where I want to position my cut. And that will tell me that that's the corner and where we're going to go. So I'm going to highlight everything, drag it up here, place it right into that corner. A little bit easier said than done, I guess. Okay, and we are ready to go. So next we're going to click on framing. We are going to push, let me move this back so you can see, push the button on the front. And then it's going to show me the frame of where it's going to cut and engrave. Let's put this back where it belongs. Okay, so I'm going to come over here, hit framing completed, and then we're going to hit process. And then we're going to click on, it told me it's going to take about 12 minutes estimated time to engrave, score, and cut this out. So click on the Start button. It's OK to process. Sending the file to the S1. Closing the lid. It's kind of important. Process again. Start. And hit the button on the front, and we're good to go. And again, it's starting out with the engrave, and then it will cut the score line that frames the engrave, then it will actually cut out the image. there you go. There's the finished item. You got a little bit of a score line and the outside frame. I think it looks pretty good. Needs a little bit of sanding and cleaning up, and we're good to go.
So I hope you liked the video. Hope you learned a little bit about, there's a variety of tools out there. A lot of tools don't do everything. And to be honest with you, Snagit's the only tool that I saw that I have found. If you guys have another one, put it down in the comments, please, that you can click on a Color Jpeg and you can click on filter for monochrome, and then you can adjust how dark that thing, how dark you want the lines on it and whatnot. Always welcome back here in the shop. Have a nice day.